Just a robot.
What if Goku was a woman? Now, I'm not talking about if he became a woman, I mean he was born as a woman. Also, this is not some Rule 63 universe, only Goku is gender bent and everybody else is their normal gender. Now first we need to think of a name for female Goku. In several cultures, a name that ends with an O is masculine, and a name that ends with an A is feminine. So I'm gonna call him Gokua. Now the first question that probably comes to mind is, what's the power difference between Gokua and Goku? After all, on average, males are stronger than women. And while that is true for human women, Saiyans are a warrior race, and they have plenty of male and female fighters. Plus, Ki amps you up a lot more than your physical strength does. So while Gokua may be slightly weaker than Goku, it's not enough to really change anything in the series. I also know that a lot of you are thinking, but what about Gohan? If Goku never ends up with Chi-Chi, Gohan will never be born. And as soon as Raditz shows up, they're screwed. But here's the thing, just because Gokua didn't end up with Chi-Chi doesn't mean she didn't end up with someone else. But who could the lucky human be? Is it Tien? Well, I would doubt it, because Tien doesn't show any romantic interest to anyone in the series. Is it Yajirobe? No, I think even in this universe he would still end up with Korin. Is it Yamcha? No. Honestly, I think he would get hitched to Krillin. They were childhood friends, he brought Krillin back to life. They both love fighting. Honestly, it kind of seems like a perfect match. I know a few of you want Goku to end up with Vegeta, but I don't think that the Prince of all Saiyans would sully himself with such low-class trash. But don't feel bad for Chi-Chi, she would still end up with someone, Yamcha. And they would have a kid, who I'm going to call Yamcha Jr., and she could raise him to be the nerdiest person she could. Now later Krillin would knock up Gokua, I can't believe I just said that. Now there is a chance that the child could be a girl, but I'm just gonna say it's a guy. Just so we don't also gender bend Gohan. However, this is where Gokua would get a lot weaker than Goku, because getting pregnant, giving birth, and recovering really takes away from your time training. However, Gohan would be a lot more powerful, because he was raised by two fighters and not forced to study. Unfortunately, Gohan wouldn't be as smart, and he would grow up to be a lot shorter, due to his father's genes. Now the fight with Raditz is where things start getting really different. Because Gokua isn't as strong, she would be killed by Raditz, but because Gohan is a lot more powerful, his headbutt would do far more damage to Raditz. When Piccolo fires the second special beam cannon, Raditz would dodge it, and start fighting against Piccolo. Krillin would later show up, and finish Raditz off with a Kienzan. Now I also believe that when Piccolo is training with Gohan, because Gohan is a lot more powerful, they would get to the training a lot sooner, and both of them would be a lot more powerful because of it. Gohan would probably take out a Cyberman, and after Piccolo died, I think Gohan would be able to finish off Nappa before Goku showed up. Things would go pretty similar throughout the Saiyan saga and throughout the Frieza saga. But when Frieza came to Earth, instead of seeing one Saiyan from the future fight Frieza, they would see two. Future Trunks and Future Marin, the daughter of Gokua and Krillin. While Future Trunks would wield a sword, she would wield a shield. While Future Gohan is a lot more powerful in this universe, he was still killed by the two androids. And while Future Trunks does have a little help, it still wasn't enough to save the future, so they still had to go back in time. They warn Gokua about the future and they give her the heart medication. Gokua has another kid with Krillin, and Vegeta hooks up with Bulma. Things would be pretty similar to the original series. Gokua would still get the heart virus, Vegeta would defeat Android 19, Android 16, 17, and 18 would be activated, and the Z-Fighters would still be defeated, despite having a stronger version of Gohan and Future Marin on their side. The training in the hyperbolic time chamber would also be different. Vegeta would still go in there with Trunks, but Gokua would actually go in with her future daughter, Marin. And Gohan, well, it's pretty obvious he would train with Piccolo. Gohan would still achieve SSJ2 and defeat Super Perfect Cell. However, I don't think Goku would die and go to the other world. I think she would actually survive this time, mostly because there's an extra Super Saiyan there, and Gohan is a lot more powerful. Now in the Buu saga, Gohan would be a lot more powerful because he never stopped training. Gohan would be able to defeat Deborah this time, but I don't think a fight between Goku and Vegeta would happen. Instead, I think a fight between Vegeta and Gohan would happen, because in the main series, Vegeta surpassed Gohan. But this time, Gohan is still more powerful than Vegeta, and Vegeta's going to prove that a half-blood is no match for a pure-blooded prince. Majin Buu would still be summoned, and the Saiyans would do a really good job against him, but they still wouldn't be able to finish him off. Vegeta would sacrifice himself in an attempt to kill Majin Buu, but it wouldn't work. Goku and Gohan would retreat and go into the hyperbolic time chamber to train. Now I don't think Trunks would be able to fuse with Marin. Trunks was barely able to fuse with Goten and they're both boys. So I highly doubt a boy and a girl can do fusion. Or at the very least it would take a lot more work. Majin Buu would still become Super Buu, and Gohan would be the first to achieve Super Saiyan 3. Gohan would almost defeat Super Buu, but unfortunately he would be absorbed. Fortunately, Vegeta would show up, and Goku and Vegeta would fuse. But just a robot, you just said they can't fuse if it's more than... Shut up, it's a different type of fusion. Also, the fusion between Vegeta and Goku would be a futa. But when they defeat Super Buu, they ask King Yama to reincarnate him. So yeah, instead of being the reincarnation of Kid Buu, he's going to be the reincarnation of Super Buu. And they would also wish back Gohan, and with a little begging from Hercule Satan, they would also bring back Majin Buu. Now there is a chance that they don't even need to fuse to defeat Super Buuhan. Last time they had to fuse, but this Buuhan is a lot weaker. Vegeta, along with the help of the other Z fighters, could hold Super Buu off while Goku made the Spirit Bomb. And no, they wouldn't have to wish the humans back to life because Super Buu didn't kill all the humans this time. Mostly because Goku and Gohan were quick coming out of the hyperbolic time chamber. Now I think the events in Dragon Ball Super would pretty much be the same. Super Saiyan God Goku, laser to the chest, and all that other stuff. There would be a few changes, like Goku Black, and instead of Future Trunks pulling out that Super Saiyan Rage out of his ass, instead, he would fuse with Marin, giving them a sword-shield combo. And before people complain about what I said earlier about fusion, this is Platara fusion. But outside of the series, how would the fandom change? Well, there would be a lot more porn of Goku, that goes without saying. People would ship Goku with Superman a ton. If Death Battle made Goku lose to Superman, there would actually be a Salon article written about how Death Battle is sexist. But what else do you guys think would change? Please tell me in the comments section down below. Also, here's the new piece of fan art, Super Saiyan Jar. Who knows, maybe I'll get a new super form once per season. Now I do have some bad news. My main account was hacked and I'm trying to get it back, but there's a chance I won't. So please tell as many people in the comments section on my other channel that I was hacked and they should go check out this channel. If I can't get my main account back, I'm going to start uploading stuff I wanted to upload on my main account onto this account.